As a government agency employee, you spend a good portion of your time in the field. This puts you in a unique position to help prevent local water pollution. You may not be aware of this, but all local government agencies, including the one you work for, have established some form of law that prohibits dumping of anything but clean water into our waters and our storm drain systems. We're asking you for help in protecting our waters, the same waters that you like to fish in and swim in, by spotting possible illegal discharges. This training will give you the skills to spot and report potential water pollution to the proper department within your agency. For the better part of the 20th century, manufacturing companies simply dumped harmful chemicals into nearby rivers, lakes, or the ocean. Water pollution grew to be so serious that many of the country's lakes and rivers could no longer support aquatic life. By the early 90s, state and federal governments had cleaned up most of the obvious water pollution sources, such as sewage and industrial plants. Yet water pollution remains a problem. Now, the single major source of pollution to our rivers, lakes, and the bay is what we call stormwater pollution. Stormwater is simply rainwater after it hits the ground. On its way down the street to the storm drain, rainwater picks up lawn pesticides and fertilizer, dirt and construction debris, tire rubber and motor oil off the street, grass clippings, as well as fecal matter from birds, cats, and dogs. This water then goes into the storm drain system, and since storm drains are not connected to a treatment plant, all that pollution ends up in our ponds, creeks, and eventually the bay, where we like to fish and swim with our families on the weekend. While some of this pollution can't be prevented because it happens naturally, dumping pollutants into the storm drain and waterways has been made illegal to try to protect our waters. Dumping pollutants into the street, storm drain, or waterway is called an illegal discharge. Simply put, only clean water can go down the street or into a storm drain, ditch, pond, or any other waterway. There are some exceptions like flows from firefighting, residential car washing, and lawn watering, but in general, only rain goes down the storm drain. Fines for illegal discharges can range up to $10,000 per day. This is where you come in. We all have a duty to protect our waters from polluters, and we need you to be our eyes to reduce stormwater pollution. Identifying illegal discharges is not always simple. Here are a couple of typical illegal discharge examples that you might encounter in the field. Dumping dog waste in the storm drain spreads fecal matter into our waters. Residents dumping or blowing grass clippings and leaves into the storm drain can cause algae blooms, which can kill fish due to lack of oxygen. Washing machines illegally piped into the creek spill soap and harsh chemicals. Restaurants hosing down mats full of grease into the parking lot storm drain. Commercial or industrial sites with leaky drums or dumpsters near a ditch or pond. A homeowner dumping out his oil pan into the storm drain after doing an oil change on his car, or even just a car or truck leaking fluids onto the road. A company pressure washing a building with bleach. Chemicals, oil, and auto fluids in the road wash into the storm drain and kill fish and other aquatic life. Here's another example. The construction site down the street is having some concrete delivered. Watch. After the concrete is poured on the site, Joe washes out his concrete mixer into the street. From there, it enters the storm drain and the stream where it could kill fish and aquatic animals. The concrete will also harden in the storm drain, causing a blockage, and may flood the street during the next rainstorm. If not properly contained, dirt and debris from construction sites can make their way into the storm drain and pollute our waters. Dirt is a natural part of our environment, but too much of it going into a stream can kill fish and cause flooding. Most construction sites are required to install special fences and storm drain covers that prevent dirt and debris from getting into the storm drain and to local waters. Other things you might see in the roadway from construction sites are mortar or tile cutting dust from home improvement projects, or paint contractors washing their equipment into the street. Many activities like construction, landscaping, pool maintenance, power washing, and vehicle and equipment washing all have the potential to pollute our waters. All of these businesses should become familiar with local ordinances that prevent discharges to the storm drain system. So, where should you be looking for these problems? Stormwater pollution can occur in the street, storm drains, storm drain system, ponds, ditches, canals, or lakes. What are some of the things you should be looking for? In the road, look for stains or traces of dumping or leaking fluids or dirt or debris. In ditches and ponds, look for oily, foamy, or odd-colored water. Also, is the grass or other vegetation along the ditch or pond dead? Sometimes dead vegetation is caused by illegal herbicide application, but sometimes it's brought about by pollutants. Is there an unusual smell, maybe a chemical smell, which you would not normally associate with water? Is there a suspicious hose or pipe leading to the drainage ditch? If you find dead fish, they may or may not be evidence of an illegal discharge. But if you find other dead animals, such as frogs or turtles, small mammals or birds, you have a strong indication that a toxic discharge may have occurred. Never touch or try to collect any water samples, dead plants, or animals. In fact, don't take any personal risks. Instead, report what you found immediately. What do you need to record when you observe or see evidence of an illegal discharge? You might not always witness the illegal discharge actually happening, but any potential evidence should be reported. One of the most important things you can do is to take a picture of the problem. If the proper authorities do not witness the illegal discharge occurring, they might still be able to take enforcement action based on your picture. Note the date and time, as well as the address and any other landmarks that may help find the location. Where is the illicit discharge going to? Is it only in the street, or reaching a storm drain or waterway? Can you determine where it's coming from? What type of discharge is it? Or if you're not sure, what does the evidence look like? But what if you happen to actually witness a deliberate illegal discharge? Don't try to stop such an incident yourself. Avoid confrontation and simply observe. What you'll be able to report will be key. Try to record important details, such as the license plate number of any vehicle, any company name and phone number, and the description of the persons committing the violation. If you have a camera and feel it's safe to do so, take a picture of the incident. Then call it in to your supervisor or point of contact. If chemicals or concrete are being discharged, call it in immediately. However, if you spot evidence that a discharge has occurred but don't feel it's an emergency, record the necessary information and report it to your supervisor or other designated individual when you get back to the office. Protecting our water quality is everyone's job because it's everyone's water. But as an employee who spends so much time out in the field, you have the opportunity to take a leading role in meeting this challenge. Here are some things you can do at work and at home to protect our waters. At work, verify that floor drains are connected to the sanitary sewer system and not the storm drain system. Store chemicals away from the rain and make sure there are no leaks. Have spill kits available in case of an accident. If a spill does occur, contain the spill and follow the label directions for disposal of containers and spilt material. For oil and grease, use an oil-absorbent material such as sand or kitty litter and dispose of it in the trash. Keep all waste bins away from the rain and dumpster lids closed. Ensure plugs are installed properly to avoid leaks. Protect nearby storm drains before washing buildings, vehicles, or other equipment to prevent dirty water from reaching the storm drain. Then, properly collect and dispose of the wastewater. If you're unsure, ask your stormwater or environmental department about the best disposal method. Wash water from any type of vehicle and equipment cleaning can contain significant amounts of dirt, oil, heavy metals, soaps, and other pollutants. At home, direct pool filter backwash and water to the grass or mulched areas. This will not harm your lawn, but it could harm fish and other aquatic wildlife. Fertilize sparingly and apply pesticides and herbicides according to instructions, making sure not to spray into waterways. And don't apply fertilizer within 10 feet from the water's edge. Also, cut grass and leaves should be blown back onto the lawn or swept up and bagged with the trash. Wash cars and equipment over the grass and not the driveway. This will not hurt the grass. A better solution yet is to take your car to the car wash, where the wash water is recycled. Pet waste can be a major source of pollution in populated areas. Pick up after your pet and dispose of it in the trash. And last but not least, conserve water. Less runoff from hoses and other home sources reduces the conveyance of pollution. For more information on stormwater or the stormwater regulations, contact your appropriate environmental, stormwater management, or public works department.